Well, I don't know how long I can sit and stare at a chart and see if anything becomes clearer. Uh, you made it on this Friday to the Gym of All Trades channel. But guys, I am working super hard at getting this Elliott count right for you guys and for me. And it's super challenging. We're going to dive in to the analysis this morning and see what's going on from the Elliott Wave perspective. I'm glad you made it to the Gym of All Trades channel. If this is your first time, I'm an Elliott Wave trader, and I trade on the foreign exchange, the Forex, and I trade crypto as well. And I've been learning to trade for the last several years, and have early on in my career lost a lot of money, and I've learned how to lose it. And I have also learned how to win it. And so I want to teach you what I've learned. I'm a diligent student, and I catch on to puzzles fast. And so I want to share those things with you. So if you've found me, I'm glad you made it. I hope we can convert you from a hodler to a trader. There's better. There's more fun in the trading world, but also potential to swing trade and increase your holdings than if you just hodl. So welcome to the channel. A couple things. Just want to remind you about the Litecoin swing trading community. You're welcome to come join us. We have a lively discussion here. You can find us on Facebook here, Litecoin Swing Trading Community. That's a free group, and it's beginning traders of all kinds, as well as seasoned traders of different styles as well, not just Elliott Wave, but other types of analysts as well. You're welcome to come join us and share your charts, ask questions, and be a part of the community. We'd love to have you. I want to also invite you to my Patreon trading group here. It's a place I share charts and videos. I did several videos last night. I gave my thoughts on Litecoin last night at 8:23. Just kind of gave an update video there, and for the Patreon traders to see there. We want to take a peek at two charts that I shared last night. This morning, as we jump into the analysis, I want to share that with you guys, and just show you the two basic macro counts we're looking at, and then see what's going on. If you'd like to be a part of this group, all you have to do is just click on the Patreon link in the description of this video. Become a Patreon, and I'll send you a link to the group and invite you in, and you'll be welcome. All right, let's take a peek here. So we're looking at Bitcoin here, and this is my macro count. So if we've had 5 waves complete up to the top of this wave from the bottom back in December, up to when was it? Middle of June, towards the end of June, when we hit 13,800. Then we're having a WXY correction, and it'll look something like this. You've got 3 waves to the downside in the W, 3 waves to the upside in the X wave, and then you're looking for 3 waves to the downside in the Y. So that is one potential correction there that we could be looking at. I'd like you to be aware of. If that's the case, then we're in the middle of making our A wave. Okay, so we'll need 5 waves to the downside of the A wave. This isn't drawn perfectly to scale, but we would need 5 waves to the downside. That means this WXY in the Y wave, the X wave was an expanded flat, and that we then are making our way down. So this is the wave we're in is a corrective wave to the upside. This would be the 1, 2. We're coming down for 3. That's if this count is correct. It's not invalidated yet. It's not invalidated yet. So let's hold on to that one. Okay. Let me show you the other possibility. The other possibility is we're dealing with a triangle instead, which every wave it's made up of 5 waves. Every wave is a 3-wave pattern, and they're counted by A, B, C, D, E like that. So you've got 3 waves there, 3 waves there, 3 waves there, and now we'd be looking for it 1, 2. We'd be on our way making the 3rd wave of the triangle. So we'd be going up to make new highs. We'd be looking at around 11,400, 11,500 in that ballpark, and I've been talking about that potential for many moons now. So, but we're in the stage where we could now go either way, and one of these counts is getting ready to become invalidated, and I want to talk to you about that, how we're going to invalidate that. So those are the basic 2 counts. One count has us going lower down here to about $7,500. That's our WXY correction. And this count has us going only, maybe back to this trend line at $9,500. Once we reach 11.5, we shouldn't expect to go much higher than that, so don't think we're breaking out. But then we'd come back down to maybe $9,500, and then would be maybe 10,000. This could be a truncated wave, and then we'd be off to the races. Excuse me. So that's what we're looking at as far as two counts are concerned, and I just wanted to highlight that for you because I already had them drawn out. Now, let's look at the current wave action and see if there's anything that's going to tell us anything. Now, what's going to invalidate this? So we have to. This is the big deal right here. This section right here. That's what we've really got to analyze and look into. Let me show you if it's a triangle, what we should expect as far as a wave pattern is concerned. And then if it's a WXY, what we should expect as far as a wave pattern is concerned. And then let's look and see if there's any kind of evidence to show us that it's going one way or the other. So we can have, because we don't know what the market's going to do, right? We don't know what the market's going to do, but we have to sometimes just wait for the market to do its thing. Now, let's look. Don't mind the count here. I was working on a count there, and we'll go ahead and look at that in just a minute. Okay, so what could it be? If it's a triangle, this trend line will actually have to be up here somewhere. We'd have to redraw the trend line, and we'd need basically 3 waves like that. Now, we would expect then that this wave would be a 1-to-1 extension at least of that wave because that is a corrective measurement. We would come down here. We would consider this an A wave, a 3-wave B, and then we're going to get a 5-wave C, most likely. It would have to be a 5, a 3, and then we'd have to get 5 waves to the upside. That 5-wave structure would look something like this. Now, if that 1 wave is complete, which I'm not sure if it is or not, if it's a 1 wave, but we should be expecting a retrace of a 2 wave, something like that, at least 50% of that wave, 3, 4, and 5. So somewhere in this region between 11,481 and 11,936, it could come up to the 1276 extension. That would so my trend, don't worry about where my trend line is. So that's the wave structure we'd be waiting for. If we get a finished 5 waves, and I'll show you what that's going to look like here in just a minute. If we get a finished 5 waves here, we should expect about a 50% retracement or so. Once we get that, then I think we're good to go on in and trade that to the upside. So that's the trade. We're not gonna wait. We're not going to get in now. We're going to wait for a pullback and then trade the rest of it to the upside. Okay, we should then expect a rejection off of that area if this is a triangle, but then we'd be looking to enter long somewhere around structure maybe and going long for about $17,000, $15,000 to $17,000 in that range. I'll talk about that another video, but anyway, that's what we'd be looking for if it is a triangle. Okay, if it's a WXY, we're going down to $7,500, which is a possibility as well. What does that wave structure got to look like? Let's zoom out just a little bit so we can see it. Go to the 2-hour here. All right, that wave structure should be basically this Y wave would need to be a W. Oh, I always draw that wrong the first time. W and X, and now a Y wave. The W wave is 3 waves, the X wave is 3 waves, and then we need to get 3 waves, 3 waves for the Y. Okay, that's what that would look like, something like that. That's the wave structure. Let's look at the micro count to see if there's anything. Well, let's look at this now. So this would be a flat right here, an expanded flat where the B wave has come lower than the origin of the A wave. And so this is a flat correction if this count is correct. I don't know if it's correct, but if it is. So if I'm interpreting this correctly, that's the question we're making. Excuse me. So that would be that this would be a one wave to the downside. We are making the two wave, if not done, and then we'd be expecting for a pretty big dump here pretty soon. Should be getting a dump here pretty soon. Now there's another potential here. We could have an A, B, C like that, and then we would get the dump. So that's another possibility as well. I'll talk to you about that. Well, I just did. I just talked to you about that. So there you go. So this could become a larger correction if this is a one wave indeed. This is a really challenging wave. I've been working on this wave for all morning and sat for an hour, and I'm having a hard time with it, and so I'm just sharing that with you. But if this is to be counted as a five wave diagonal, then we could expect a two wave. There is a way I've counted this correctively, and it's finished or close to finish. But I've also we could be looking at an impulse, a five wave impulse, then a three wave to the downside. We could get another five wave impulse, and that would be an ABC correction of this wave. There would be a one, a two. We'd get three down here, four, and that would take us to the rest of the way down. And that would be how we would get five. Well, not the rest of the way down, but that would get us five waves at least. It would be basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There would be our A wave, then we get a B, and then a C, and that would take us to the rest of the way down. So that's those are the two potentials that I'm seeing. If there's some other potential, I'm not seeing it, and so I've really been studying this chart. Those are the two options, and so here's the deal, and here's how we're going to know. I would say this: if we go any lower than this low right here, I mean this is basically a pretty good indicator. If we go lower than $9,800, there is a good likelihood, that we're going to continue on down. Now, if it makes it down there, it might be like one of those long straight candles, so be aware of that. You may not have a whole lot of time to know and understand that. But if we go below this level right here, we should expect then we're going to continue on to the WXY. However, if this price breaks this high right here at 10,900, we should expect that we're in the triangle, and we would know which count we should be focusing in on. Okay, so I want you to understand that. That means we'd be readying ourselves for a pullback and then trading into the upside most likely. We'd also be readying for a potential short-term short on this wave right here coming to the downside. So there's some trades that we can have high probability that are coming up. We're just going to have to be patient, wait for them. So that's what we're looking at, guys. That is what we're looking at. Now, which one do I think it is? I think I'm kind of leaning towards the triangle right now, the way the wave structure looks. I don't like it. I don't want it to be that, and I hope it's not. To be honest with you, There's all kinds of reasons why I'd rather it come down to $7,500. If you're interested, let me know, and I will explain to you why I would rather it to come down here before we go up. The very quick and the fast of it is, if we come down here, man, we're going to be going so high. We're gonna hit all-time highs very soon this year potentially. So I like that a lot better. I would rather just get the discount now, not have to wait for years, and then buy and shoot the moon. If it's a triangle, it's not necessarily that much of good news. Let me explain to you why. I guess I'm telling you guys why it's not good news. Because if it's a triangle, we should expect it to come down here and then come up here, but that wave should find its peak somewhere in this region, $16,000 to $17,000, and then we would expect a deeper correction back down to structure. So we're gonna have to wait through another stinking long correction, and I just don't want to do it. I would just rather this be our long correction, and that's it. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. Those are the potentials I'm seeing. If you've made it this far into the video, I just want you to say you're amazing, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it's been interesting for you. Today's a random comment is Bitcoin needs to break. Okay, Bitcoin needs to break. There's our random comment. So put the random comment in there. That's going to let me know you watched all the way to this point. It'll also get me some comments down there. Don't forget the comments really, really help the channel. They really, really do. I've hit 951 subscribers, guys. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you. Shooting for 1,000. I'd love to hit 1,000 this weekend. That'd be awesome. Let's blow this. This video up with your comments and your likes. Thanks again. All right, let's look at the micro now and just see if there's. Now, what we're going to do now is see if there's any evidence for which way we're going. Is there any wave evidence that are showing me, okay, on the micro that we have a likelihood of going up or going down? I'm going to show you what I've been looking at, and I'm just going to let you know what the way I'm seeing it. Okay. We're on the 15-minute chart. To me, this doesn't, though I'd like to count it as a beginning wave diagonal. I don't like the fact, well, I guess I could count it that way, but man, that two wave would be giant. I don't like this right here for that. This is, in my opinion, can be interpreted no other way than 5 waves. I don't know how else to see it. It's a clear 5 waves. I don't know how else to interpret it. That could be a 1 wave or an A wave. Now, if this is a B wave, okay, this is a WXY. We've counted that, or an ABC. Yeah, I think we counted it. It looks pretty straight, but it's corrective. And then what we have here, what I see. An easy thing to see here is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can see the diagonal there, and it actually it stays within its boundaries. It looks good as a diagonal here for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which leads me to think that this is actually an A, a B, and this is a C wave diagonal. That's what I'm looking at. Now, this wave right here can be right now interpreted correctively, and let me explain to you how I've been interpreting it as far as a corrective wave. Number one, the first thing so this, sorry, let me go back. This ABC would imply that we're making an impulse wave to the upside, a 1 wave. We should expect a 2 wave pullback. Excuse me, and then we're entering and going to go make higher highs. So this information that I just gave you would suggest that we're in the triangle. This is an ABC correction. Look for higher highs. Here's the problem. Could this be a diagonal wave? It could be. The market doesn't follow Elliott wave diagrams, and nothing is perfect. Okay, so we could be seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only problem with that is that this 3 wave, interpreting it that way, becomes the shortest wave if I count it that way. I don't want to, again, I don't like this, guys. I don't like any of it. So this is why I'm leaning towards the ABC. But this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or is this 1, 2, all that's 3, 4, and we're going to get a big wave to the downside. Ooh, that's. The only problem I have here is my 2 didn't come up to the boundary. I would have liked that so much better. So yeah, it looks more like a channel, a diagonal. To me, that I feel like I'm stretching it to fit my bias, and I don't want to do that. So I don't know. So this wave right here has me thinking down. Where this wave is right here, where it is now, has me thinking corrective. but could turn into an impulse, and I'll show you why. A big impulse. So first off, this wave right here looks three waves. The problem with it, it doesn't measure correctively. So again, I'm just giving you the evidence, and I hope you made it this long. It actually measures impulsively. This wave actually comes up to the 618 extension of that wave. A lot of times, basically, when you have an impulse wave like this, when you measure from 1 to 3 and then back to 4, this fifth wave will come up to the 618 or the 786 in that region, anywhere from the 0.5 to the 786. That's often where it will come. Okay, so something like that. So right here, sometimes when I see a wick like that, even though I cannot see the waves, okay, I can't see them, my assumption is that there's probably some hidden waves in here that can be seen on the 1 minute chart maybe. And even if it can't be seen on the 1 minute chart, doesn't mean they're not there. A lot of times you have very quick action here. So this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4 in this region. And then this is the fifth wave. And there's a 1 wave followed by a 2 wave. And then you have this wave here. You would expect that to be a 3 and a 4, but the 4 overlaps the 1, and you're not allowed to do that unless it's a diagonal, which is why yesterday, when I was watching this being formed, I was calling this to be a beginning diagonal. I was expecting price to come up to this region here, finish out the wave, and then come on down for a correction, and then up, but it didn't do that. So what else could it be? This could be a 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. So if that's a 1, 2, 1, 2, then that means we're very bullish, very bullish. As far as this wave, that doesn't mean we're going to 17,000. It just means that this is pointing to the bull side, the upside rather than the downside. So the way we would count that then, this is the 1, 2, okay, 3, 4. We're going to get a fifth wave here. Excuse me. You're going to get a fifth wave of the third. That's going to be a third wave. So we would be dealing with a 1, a 2, all that would be 3. Expect the 4 to come down, and then a fifth wave up to the upside. And that would just be a 1 wave, guys. That would just be a 1 wave, something like that. That's ultra bullish, isn't it? Then we would expect a pullback. Yeah, I don't like that at all either. It's too big. It's too big. I mean, projecting that wave, that would imply very, very big numbers here. Very, very big numbers. We'd be actually looking at that $11,900 range. I don't know. Talking out loud with you guys. This is hard stuff. This is hard stuff. Nothing easy about it for sure. I guess the only other way we can take that is, let me see here. Let me measure this guy. Yeah, there's the 1618 there. I don't like. I mean, again, I don't want my bias to tell me, what's going on. But I have a strong bias to the downside right now because of the way where I believe price needs to come, the way this wave structure has been up to this point. But now the way the wave structure is it's making me question my bias and reconsider it. And so now I'm in the flux. And so that's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing, and I'm thinking out loud, and I think out loud with you just because a lot of people can learn that way. And I don't mind if you turn off the video at this point. I've given you enough. Give you enough information for sure. Yeah, so somebody in the community just asked a question. I will get you guys in just a minute. There we go. Okay, so yeah, so we got a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Expect a fifth wave of the third. I mean that's kind of the way it's looking. I don't like it. Now, if I can measure this correctively, and let me explain to you why I can measure it correctively. If I come here, that's 5, 3, and then I got a 5 wave here. That's a 5, 3, 5 right there. And comes with the one-to-one extension. That's a corrective level. So there's ABC, ABC right there, and then oh no, sorry, change that, change that, strike that, strike that. No, that's right. Sorry, guys. I've been looking at this so long. Yeah, ABC. Now we'd be looking for A, B, C to come on up there. Now it can't break if that's corrective. It can't break the plane of this top, but it would be a deep two. But this would be our basically our 1, 2, and then we'd be going down from here. Uh, is that stretching it? Listen, the market can do whatever it wants to do. I'm only analyzing what it's doing and saying, "Oh, can we have any kind of ideas?" See how this came up to the 1276 here. Um, it's hit a corrective fib there if we measure off of this wave here. I suppose you could just, yeah, that's ABC. Oh, yeah, I remember now. Guys, I think I'm stretching it to try to make that corrective wave. I don't think it's corrective. So yeah, the whole last part of this video sucks for sure. Sorry guys, but yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. That's why I've been sitting and poring over it for an hour before the video, and I still don't have any answers for you. My take right now, if I had to just come up with a final bias here, um, here's what I'm looking at. I think this is sorry. I, I think I'm leaning towards A, B, C, and we're getting an impulse here. We're getting an impulse. Um, it looks like it could be fairly large. So let's wait and see what we get today. Interesting thing about Litecoin is that Litecoin's making this little triangular shape. I've been calling for Litecoin's move to the upside for a little while now. That $75 target is still hanging around. It's still a likelihood. I would like to see a push down to the $67 region before it goes up. That is a likelihood. Um, so we'll wait and see on that. Ethereum is looking a little the same way. Everything's just going sideways. We've already hit to the one-to-one extension. We do have a target up here in the 190 region. Get the fibs on that guy just right. Yeah, it was about 190 the other day, if I remember right. Yep, 189, 190 in that region. We could have basically a 1, 2, get a 3, 4, 5 coming up here. So hard to tell, hard to tell, hard to tell. these one waves are so hard to see sometimes. They're just wicks and small little things, and then they just shoot up on us. So watch out for a shoot up on us today. So this video has been just the last part of this has been horrible, but I hope there's some benefit in listening to me think out loud. We're gonna have to watch and see what this wave gives us. So watch out for a dump to the downside. Just be careful. Draw this trend line. If we break it, then that's significant. So if we continue to the upside, watch this trend line up here. Draw these on your charts. See where we're headed. So I wish I had better information for you as far as the count, the micro count is concerned, but just don't forget about the macro count. Don't forget about the macro. We're going to tell the tale here. If we break this low at 9.8, we're going down. If we break this high at 10.9, we're going up. So that's why right now we're just in this middle zone, and the wave structure is challenging. All right. Sorry about all the junk at the end, but you guys have a fantastic day. I'm pretty exhausted. You're probably exhausted listening to it, even if you made it this long. If you made it this long, tell me you did. And you'll win the internet. You guys have a fantastic weekend. I'm going to see you at the live stream on Sunday. So live stream on Sunday. We'll see you then, but I'll be back in a video tomorrow. Bye-bye.